Welcome to the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce's Weekly Buzz. I'm Clint Williams, and today we're talking with Nash Healthcare Foundation's Stacy Jesso about the good things going on in our community. Today's episode of the Chamber Buzz is sponsored by Roger G. Taylor and Associates. Let's take a look at what's going on around our community.
We've got a Chamber of Commerce Day right here. Mayor, congratulations. County Commission, senators, members of the House. I especially though want to welcome the Board of Directors of this great company. Mr. Chairman, it's great having you here. And just to let the audience know, we have members of the board who had their annual meeting right here. Our quarterly meeting right here, and to have it right here in Rocky Mount means a lot to us. We have representatives of the board from San Francisco, from Seattle, from Chicago, from across the United States. And to have them see firsthand the quality operational processes and management skills that are right here in Rocky Mount means so much to us. And the biggest I want to let the people of Rocky Mount know that the compliment, I said, what can we do to help you here from a state perspective? And their response was, I'm telling you right now, we got a great labor force. We've got talent right here in Rocky Mount. They've been here since 1968. And believe me, if their board of directors didn't think that they had good talent right here, they would not have made the incredible capital decision and operating decisions to expand here in Rocky Mount. So more than anyone else, I want to congratulate the workforce here in Rocky Mount who showed that we can do it better than anyone else in the world. And believe me, they have investments all over the world. And their largest injection facility right here in the world is in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. So as governor, I firmly believe if this country and this state are going to continue to have a long-term sustainable economy, as we try to work to get out of this difficult recession, we've got to continue to promote industries that build things, that make things, that produce things, that grow things, and that innovate things. We cannot live off the service industries alone or government jobs alone. We have to have innovative companies like this that have production facilities and provide a product not only for us in North Carolina, but throughout the world. And this is a first-rate company. I've looked at your earnings during the past 5 years. I wish I would have invested. I'm sorry I didn't. Congratulations to the board on the incredible growth. Almost $4 billion a year of revenue. And the growth factor is absolutely amazing. So they could have decided to have this expansion any place in the world. And I know a lot of governors that would have loved to have this right across the border, whether it be Tennessee, Virginia, or South Carolina, but they picked Rocky Mount. And I'd like to thank the decision makers, and I'd like to thank the manager of this great plant for selling us, along with your mayor and your county commission, the state reps, and the team of chamber officials in this community. So the one thing I did tell the board, I had a great opportunity to meet the board. In fact, I'm going to go look at one of their operation rooms. I'm going to try to steal an idea that they have in management and see if I can apply it to state government. I'm going to go visit one of their rooms in just a few minutes. I did notice that this building looks like it's from a civil engineering structure. We can add some floors that can be moved from Illinois anytime you want. I want to compliment the engineer for putting a flat roof on here. So congratulations to everyone, especially to the city and this great county. Thank you. God bless each one of you.
And look here, gentlemen, first, right here. Okay, go ahead and cut. Very good. All right. And we're back at the Chamber Buzz, and we've got Stacy Jesso here to talk to us about the Nash Healthcare Foundation. But let's meet Stacy Jesso and talk a little bit about who you are and what brought you here to Rocky Mount and the foundation.
Well, I am originally from Charlotte, North Carolina, and have been in healthcare. It's probably been about 7 years since I actually worked for Presbyterian Hospital in Charlotte, and was always in fundraising, really for the last probably 20 years, and really loved healthcare. When I left Presbyterian, I had some other opportunities working for the Mint Museum of Art and working for a child advocacy organization doing fundraising. But I really missed healthcare. And so I figured at this point in my career that it was time for me to do something different. And so I had a couple of search firms who actually had reached out to me and talked to me about some executive director positions, actually in several cities across the country. And Rocky Mount and Nash Healthcare systems really appealed to me. And so here I am.
I'm going to ask you that loaded question since you said the word. What appealed to you?
Well, going through, if anybody's really been through the interview process, a lot of times you come in and you're coming to a room full of, executives or board members or community leaders, and they spend a great deal of time just kind of asking you a million questions, not just about yourself, but your skill set and, what you would do, if you were offered this position. They did that here, but in a totally different way. They brought me in for a couple of days along with my husband. And so as I went through the first interview process, it was kind of a little bit of that, but it was in a much more kind of casual feel. So I felt like I had really kind of built a rapport with these folks. And then it was another day of, meeting some community leaders, taking me to dinner, showing me. We spent probably 2 or 3 hours as they toured us through Rocky Mount and looked at different neighborhoods, and it just, to me, I just related and just I enjoyed meeting the folks and just had just a really good rapport. I felt like I knew them as people, more like friends than just seeing, the hospital itself.
Well, that's good, and that goes to what I sometimes call, Rocky Mount is a city that's more like a town.
Right.
We have our industrial, properties here, and we have our infrastructure, but we also have that tighter community feel that you don't always get in a city with a lot of concrete and asphalt.
Right.
So, well, good. Well, we welcome you to the Rocky Mount community.
Thank
and I
you.
understand you just moved into your house.
I
And
did.
You're now a homeowner.
I am a homeowner.
And paying property taxes and all that good stuff. Now, with the Nash Healthcare Foundation, I was very familiar with your predecessor, Bob Skelton, and a lot of things on the plate of Nash Healthcare Foundation and the hospital as its mission to serve our community. Talk a little bit about the foundation as a whole, and then we'll get into some specifics of what some of the current projects are.
Okay. And that was another reason that this job really appealed to me, was when I came for my interview, it wasn't just them interviewing me, it was really me interviewing them.
Right.
And so what I found, just something that really appealed to me, was that there was a lot of opportunity. And what I mean by that is, Bob, I know Bob. Bob and I were colleagues back when he was at Rowan Medical Center in Salisbury, and I was at Presbyterian in Charlotte. So I certainly, know him and know, his skill set and his talent. And he did a remarkable job of, pulling together this campaign for a specific project. One thing that now I think the foundation needs to do is it really needs to build out as a true healthcare foundation. And so for me, I love startups. So I love a startup project. I also like to come in when, an organization is kind of flat so that they can go to the next level. So actually I feel like this almost kind of happened backwards, where decided that you wanted to raise money for the new pediatric emergency department, and so created this incredible capital campaign, where what I heard from folks was that they just didn't know that they could really raise that kind of money here in this area. And so,
and we're not talking a small amount of money. This
No.
is some significant fundraising.
It is. It's significant fundraising, and it was really new. I mean, it was really new to the foundation. They had not really operated that way. And I think it was really new to the community. And so looking at that, I said, you have already so many wonderful successes. You've had this incredible, successful campaign. You've created 2 incredible events with the gala and the golf tournament. And so that was very appealing to me, that you already were building on that. But now to be able to really take that and create the foundation as an ongoing, sustainable entity for Nash Healthcare, in generally raising these funds. The capital, to a fundraiser, looking at an organization that's going to invest in capital projects is tremendous.
Right.
Talking to the community and why they felt they wanted to invest in their community, because what it really is these donors have invested money for a wonderful gift to this community. So,
and it is a gift to the community.
It is.
What's being built, and slowly the fences are coming down a little bit at a time, and more of the facade is certainly going up, and the glass is shining pretty cleanly on the new building. And there's physical evidence of what the community is investing in on the outside, but there's a lot more to go on inside those walls as well that needs to be supported as well. And it's not a short-term investment, it's a
Right.
long-term investment.
Well, and really, the other thing was that I feel like this community there's a lot of potential where Nash can actually be a catalyst in the community. So the whole community relations piece was also of great interest to me, because I feel like Nash can maybe leverage some resources to come into the community and be a collaborator and a convener with other community organizations, so that we can really help, bring the resources in that we need in order to benefit, certainly the community around health.
Well, good deal, and I want to explore a little bit about some of that collaboration. It sounds like a good story, and it's nice to hear people working together. We do need to take a quick break. You are watching the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce's Weekly Buzz, and we'll be back after these messages. And welcome back to the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce's Weekly Buzz, sponsored by Roger G. Taylor and Associates. We are speaking today with the Nash Healthcare Foundation's Stacy Jesso, and talking about collaboration and a little bit of the job that goes with raising some funds from the community.
Talking about collaboration and community projects, I have talked to the United Way. I've met with some of the United Way leaders, and as they came to talk to us about really as they choose their focus moving forward and what that should be. And one of the things is really around health related. And this community does have some issues around health related illnesses, chronic illness, and so what they're coming to us for is to say, can we partner with them to help select a project that would then benefit the whole community?
Right.
And so that's really what I find very exciting, is because the hospital itself can hopefully be that catalyst that can work with other smaller nonprofit agencies who are out in the field day to day meeting those critical needs. A lot of times funding can come from individuals, but not really just individuals, but really foundations. And so foundations are always looking for folks that can really take that project and implement that project. And the hospital itself may benefit from some of that, where they would fund the project that we were overseeing.
And just to clarify, there are many family foundations that are funded out there that are looking for projects to support. So this is one of those that when they're looking for those good investment vehicles that make the community better, this is one that you're hoping they choose.
That's right. They're family foundations, they're corporate foundations, they're private foundations, they're a number of national foundations that really want to focus on health-related issues in a rural, underserved population. And it's really finding that partner that can then, take that money and then work within the community to build out those programs and help kind of facilitate that. Because a lot of these smaller nonprofits don't have the man or woman power to be able to really implement a lot of things, or have the fundraising capabilities to be able to maybe to entice some funds to come to this community. So,
all right, Stacy, we appreciate you sharing this information with us. Talk to us a little bit about, there's going to be some oncoming challenges with the Affordable Care Act, kind of taking away a little bit of operating funds from the hospital. And not that the foundation is replacing the operational funds, but it does mean that the hospital may not be able to invest in some infrastructure or special projects that the foundation can support. And that means the community's got to step in and kind of lend a strong hand to keeping our health care as best as it can be in our community.
Right. Well, we are, I think, certainly faced with a lot of challenges, and it's not just here in Rocky Mount, it's not just Nash Healthcare Systems, but it's across the country. And so, a lot of folks ask us, what can we anticipate, what do we know? Well, you'll hear from probably every CEO and every CFO and every healthcare system, we don't know.
Right.
So, but we do, this year is certainly going to be a challenging year. And I think for Nash, who has been such a successful healthcare system, there are going to be some challenges this year. And we're not going to have the reimbursements that we've had in the past. And so, we're going to have to look for other ways to be able to do some things around projects, special projects and programs. So for a foundation, a healthcare foundation, this is the perfect time for us to really launch that as really a sustainable organization that can really help the hospital as we face a lot of unknowns.
Good deal. Now, you've got two big events that go on right now. That's the golf tournament and the gala, and those are currently funding the new construction, the Emergency Care Center and the Children's Center. Can you touch on those two centers just a little bit, and then talk about these events as an ongoing concern and a way for the community to get something out of it, a black tie affair that they can't find anywhere else in the community, and a golf tournament that's like no other.
Right, right. Well, as I said earlier, the foundation should be extremely proud of these two events. They both have been very successful and have had such great leadership. The gala the date is January 25th, Saturday, January 25th this year. And this year we certainly are still raising money. But this year is going to take a little bit of a different spin. It's really the culmination of the 3 years of raising the money for the pediatric emergency
Sort of
department.
a celebration?
It's a celebration. And again, it's not focusing so much on the hospital and what our needs were and going into all the particulars. It's really thanking those donors for their generosity, their investment in making this all happen. So it'll open in February. So
Wow.
It's a great time to really thank those donors for all that they've done in order to open this emergency department. The golf tournament, the same thing. I have not been to the gala, but
Right.
I'm excited about being a part of it this year. But I did come to the golf tournament. That was really kind of my first unofficial duty before I actually started. And I've done a lot of golf tournaments, and this is just a great event. People love to play in it. We never have any problems getting foursomes and folks that want to play. It raises a lot of money for the hospital, and this year it was for the pediatric emergency department. Moving forward, we want to continue those events. We may choose to put it towards another specific project.
Right.
We have not made those decisions yet. But again, we need to ask folks to continually give gifts.
Right.
The one thing with the two events is that not everybody can come to the gala. Not
Right.
everybody wants to come to the gala. I mean, you'll talk to people every time. We're not coming we don't want to dress up. That's not our thing. Not everybody plays golf.
Right.
Not everybody wants to be a part of that.
Tell me when you have a tennis tournament and I'll be there.
That's right, that's right. So what we're really looking at is how we can really diversify our fundraising for the foundation so that we're giving everybody an opportunity to make a gift to support the projects and programs that we do.
And the foundation's goals over time will change, and you know the community as a whole, as Nash Healthcare serves not just the Twin Counties but the surrounding area, where there are needs, where there are gaps in support or funding, the foundation can step in and take on that project, whether it's in the rural parts of Nash County or Edgecombe County. That's where there's opportunity for Nash Healthcare and the foundation to be a part of that process.
Right. We're in the process of doing a community needs assessment, which we do, I think, every 3 years. And so we're in the process of doing that, and the results should be finalized probably in October. And so what we find from that survey and that assessment is what are the things that we're going to choose to focus on. I mean, you can't always focus on everything.
Right.
And so making sure that we're choosing something that is very prevalent in the community, something that really that it's a big issue or a big problem. And so, we're kind of on hold until that assessment comes out. But I think that's really gonna let us know what Nash can do to provide resources for the community.
Well, and Nash Healthcare in general is one of the largest employers in our community, have employees and families all parts of the Twin Counties in the area. And where the needs are, it's kind of a self-feeding process, It's like an economy. You've got people who work there and people who are the customers of the hospital as well. And where there are needs, where there may be opportunities, the foundation can step in and be a part of improving the life of the people in our community. And we appreciate what the Nash Healthcare Foundation has done. I'm looking forward to the new building being completed, just like a lot of people are. Saw the new sign go up on the side of the hospital a couple weeks ago, and I think when they see the new emergency care center, all the inconvenience of construction and all the rerouting of signage and directional placement will pay off, and people will see what they've invested in, what their money has gone to.
Right. Well, we're excited about that. I think you're absolutely right. We look forward to being able to invite folks for the first look to really see the emergency care department. And the heart center is also a part of that. And I think once people see the magnitude of the investment, not just from the community but from the hospital itself, I think we're going to be able to serve more, almost double the patients that we see, which is tremendous.
Right.
And so we're excited about kind of wrapping that up and getting the doors open and really moving on. Our Board of Commissioners has approved a women's center for the hospital, so that's another big capital project which will start in 2014. So, even in uncertain times, I think it says a lot for the leadership, not just with the hospital leadership and the management of the hospital, that we want to continue to invest our money wisely in making sure that we are doing projects to support the great people of the Twin Counties.
Well, again, we do appreciate what the foundation's been doing. Of course, Larry Tuning, who is the CEO of the hospital, Mike Bryant, who is the chairman of the board for the hospital as well as part of the foundation, and of course Roger Taylor, who has been a principal supporter for the foundation, has certainly been a big cheerleader for the foundation.
Big cheerleader, we love it.
We do appreciate his support, as well as support of the weekly Chamber Buzz here for the Rocky Mount Area Chamber of Commerce. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next week.